My name is Paolo, and together with Katie I rode the 765 kilometers between Lowestoft and St. David's in 2021. Please watch the introduction video in the playlist for more details. The entire journey took 10 days, and this video shows our ride on the 7th day from the small village of Letton in Herefordshire, England, to the town of Llandrindod, Wales in Wales. There is a blog post available containing more details and pictures on icycle.com. The link to the post is on the top right corner now. If you have seen any of the previous videos, then you probably know what to expect from this one. We do understand that these are rather long, but they do cover every meter of the way, and breaking them down into smaller chunks would be just too time consuming. Thank you for your support and patience. We hope these videos may be of help to you if you decide to undertake the same journey. Please do pay us a coffee if you think they helped you somehow.
We actually managed to leave Letton at a slightly more sensible time of 9:30, after a really good buffet breakfast of granola with fruit compote, still warm fresh bread and a croissant. As Paolo has said in earlier videos, we were among the first cyclists to ride the Via Beata from east to west. On today's ride, the rough route that Cycling UK put together for us called us to ride what looks a bit of a loop, initially following National Cycle Route 42 south, then turning north on NCR 8, and finally a little bit on NCR 825 to Llandrindod, Wales, with the loop largely to avoid some Welsh mountains. We stuck to minor roads, and Paolo might have preferred a more direct route on slightly bigger roads, but I wanted to stick to the cycle network where we could. We spent much of the day near the River Wye, and the few extra miles were worth it for how lovely it was. This is us arriving in Hay-on-Wye, which is on the River Wye just over the border between England and Wales. It's a small place, but is very well known as having over 20 bookshops and for holding the annual Hay Festival, which began in 1988 and is now the biggest literary festival in the UK. Although the town has a population of less than 2,000, during the 10 days of the festival there are almost 100,000 visitors.
It was close to the river that we found the first and only Via Beata way station of this day, entitled "To Whom Shall We Go?". It's a stone bench with the same engravings of the title in both English and Welsh languages, but that unfortunately suffered being exposed to the elements, which made the engraving hard to read.
Every day I want your touch,
One striking thing about cycling in Wales are the hills, but another is the green. Nature is so beautiful here. Another striking thing is the attitude of Welsh drivers towards cyclists, compared to English drivers. Welsh drivers are so much more relaxed and patient with cyclists, which makes cycling in Wales a really safe and pleasant activity. I'm sure there will be those watching this video who will say, but I had this and this problem while cycling in Wales, and I'm sure it's not perfect, but our experience was notably positive. English drivers are very stressed and see cyclists as obstacles to be removed rather than partners on the road, in my humble opinion.
Packing up my favorite stuff into boxes that I know I'll never open, where solutions should make me laugh, 'cause under wings of apathy they'll all be broken when tomorrow comes and the bells all fade. Will we do the things we always do, or will we change when tomorrow comes? If I truly can, I would want to wake and start the day a better man. When tomorrow comes, do 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 do. Missing teeth, crazy memories. I can still recall the summer when that shot was taken. Colored boxes around Christmas trees, and smiles upon our faces while our hearts are breaking. When tomorrow comes and the bells all fade, will we do the things we always do, or will we change when tomorrow comes? If I truly can, I would want to wake and start the day a better man when tomorrow comes. So place your paper boats upon the water, watch them sailing away, and go embrace your sons and daughters and send them safely on their way. 'Cause when tomorrow comes and the bells all fade, will we do the things we always do, or will we change when tomorrow comes? If I truly can, I would want to wake and start the day a better man when tomorrow comes. So place your paper boats upon the water, watch them sailing away, then go embrace your sons and daughters, send home safely on their way. But if tomorrow comes and the sun don't rise, will you still be blaming others for the blackened skies? If tomorrow comes and I truly can, I would want to wake and start the day a better man. When tomorrow comes,
everything you promised me, nothing like I thought it'd be. Everything you promised me, nothing like I thought it'd be. Everything you promised me.
This is us arriving in Builth, Wales, where one of the last princes of an independent Wales, Llewellyn ap Griffith, was both born and died. The mural you can see on the side of this building shows his last days in 1282. He was ambushed and killed by the English army near here, and his head was taken to London. This was one of the pivotal moments in the conquest of the country by Edward I of England, although Welsh uprisings continued for another 150 years or so. We stopped in Builth, Wales for a few minutes for a coffee in the beer garden of the Greyhound Hotel. We did remarkably little in the way of pushing our bikes on this trip, all things considered. I was really very tired by the end of today. I've found on other trips that I tend to want a rest day after a week in the saddle, and of course we didn't have one on this trip. But the next day's cycling was absolutely beautiful, as you'll see in the next video.
Although you can't see it in the footage, this route keeps meandering along the River Wye, which we crossed multiple times on this day, from Hay on Wye all the way to Newbridge on Wye, where we took a turn up north towards our destination of Llandrindod Wells this day. After we flew the drone in Warwick, Katie and I were discussing about using it more often. Flying the drone obviously requires good weather, a suitable and legal location where flying a drone is allowed, and also a bit of a delay in the journey, as I am a nervous and inexperienced drone operator. As the weather was good, we were keen to try and capture a bit of the Welsh landscape from above. And upon crossing the River Wye in this location, after we were already 100 meters away from the bridge, we decided to go back and attempt a careful flight, trying my best to avoid hitting the overhead electricity wires that spanned across the river and the bridge diagonally. The result of which you can see now. There's a group of youngsters fishing near the bridge, and it's always polite to ask if they would mind appearing in the footage, and they said they didn't. I hope the visuals show how peaceful and green Wales is.
got nowhere to go. I need you to know
In a few seconds you'll see us arriving at the Clanach Inn in Llandrindod, Wales, an old coaching inn which, let's say, is a tad idiosyncratic. Our bathroom was carpeted and down a flight of stairs, with no windows and a somewhat dodgy shower. Quite a contrast to the place we spent the night the day before. Yet the food was good and the local IPA was excellent, and they did find us a safe place outside to store our bikes overnight, which is always helpful for peace of mind. I hope our experiences helps you avoid making the same mistakes we've made, and if this video helped or interested you, please do donate a coffee to help with the costs of maintaining the blog and the work of producing this material. Depending on when you're watching this video, you may now be taken straight to the video of day 8 of our 10-day journey. Thanks for watching.